I have no clue why I found this so funny.
Okay.
But just, your men have cameras, my men have flamethrowers.
Hello and welcome to Library Grindhouse. The only ticket you need is your library card. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Leah, and today we will be giving you our top 5 reasons why to watch the 1984 film C.H.U.D. Cannibalistic, Humanoid, Underground Dwellers. Oh my goodness.
That's all right. All right, Leah, but first, why don't you hit them with that spoiler-free plot summary?
Ahem. George seems to be an up-and-coming, highly sought-after photographer who wants to capture true life. The good, the bad, and the ugly. When he hears about some of the homeless population who live underground going missing, he teams up with a reporter, a police chief, and a self-proclaimed reverend to figure out what is truly hiding in the depths of the sewers underneath Soho. And what are they doing there to begin with?
All right, very good. All right, Leah, what's your number 5 on your list of reasons to watch this film?
My number 5 reason was the fact that it was a miniature Home Alone cast, meaning just 2 people. But I was so excited about it. And I was trying to figure out, oh, well, this was before Home Alone. So
well before, yeah.
Did they bring the other one in? Did they love working with each other? For some reason, I was going down this little...
You do wonder, don't you?
Yeah, I was like, did they really enjoy working with each other? Or was it just all coincidence?
Very good.
What's your top 5 reason, or your number 5 reason?
My number 5, the great synth score and the sinister drone. The score is its best when the police captain gets serious about getting stuff done about the C.H.U.D.
O'Brien?
And the sinister drone effect, especially when Daniel Stern is exploring the sewers, remind me of Hans Zimmer's recent Dune score and Cannibalistic to a degree. It was like, oh, I like this. This is a creepy drone going on.
Yeah,
I like it.
It was neat. But yeah, I made a note of that, and I was like, what is that? Is that their sound? Is that the music? They did a good job on it. They did a very good job.
Because you hear roars occasionally and some growls, but so it's not. It's more like a symbolic of stuff's about to go down. You want to be on edge.
Yeah, be on the edge of your seat within the first 5 seconds.
That's right. All right, Leah, you're number 4.
All right, my number 4 was the line, and I have no clue why I found this so funny.
Okay.
But just, your men have cameras, my men have flamethrowers.
Your man has a camera. Mine has a flamethrower.
I was cracking up, and I don't know why. And it's just, there's a camera angle where he looks, and his main guy, it's the police chief, working with, I believe, the politician, or the police captain working with the police chief.
The commissioner and then that government dude.
Yeah, I'm not really sure exactly how they were, but the government...
The camera pans over to the flamethrower guys, right? And the
flamethrower
guy's like,
he's just holding it.
Right at him.
Yeah. But the government guy is able to go underground. He's supposed to have... What's it called? The first command with it all, and the police captain was Ixnay.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where the feds come in and take over for local jurisdiction and take over the case or whatever. It's one of those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But the captain's not having it, and I'm there for it.
Exactly, I am too.
Yeah.
But it's so great because he's just playing along at first with this guy in the camera, and he's like, yeah, hold on. And then his men show up with flamethrowers.
Because his whole thing has been having to go along with it and cover up all this stuff, and he's just done. He's had it. He is ready to just be we're ready to throw down.
Exactly.
We're not messing around anymore.
So he's a good police captain.
I appreciated his character in this film.
Yeah.
It works well for the film. Yep.
All right, Jesse, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is New York City is a hellhole. Pre-Giuliani and Disney cleaning up Times Square, etc. New York City is a place where you went to go get mugged, shot, covered in toxic waste, and eaten by C.H.U.D. And somehow I'm nostalgic for it. And so this film is a nice, fun, oh man, remember when New York City was just a cesspool?
It's true.
And, that's kind of one of those things where it's almost a documentary at this point of just, man, look at this.
I immediately thought of when I saw the sewer grate and just everything that was going on, just because of my age, Ninja Turtles. I was just like, this is it. This is it.
And Ninja Turtles, the 90 film, just got in, most of it was shot in North Carolina. I mean, you could tell, they really did shoot anything in New York City. But, yeah. Well, Leah, what's your number 3?
Number 3, again, Very small part, but young John Goodman. Young John Goodman is in here. And
I know.
it's like 0.5 seconds, but
I was like, wait, is that? I had to look it up. I'm like, yeah, it is.
As soon as he spoke, I was like, listen to that accent. Listen, and he just has his like smiley, charming.
I'm like, dang, he's young.
He's so young.
Yeah.
He's so young.
Just a baby John Goodman.
Yes, but I was here for it. Like his little itty bitty part just made it. And I love that. I love in older movies when you see stars who have become huge nowadays in their little beginning parts. And you can still tell he was a phenomenal actor. He had like a 0.5 second script and you could tell he was like, no, this is, I'm committed.
No, it's good. Yeah, he nailed it. He was good.
I loved it.
I bought him as a cop in a diner.
Yeah, and kind of like
being gross to the waitress and
but
not great.
But in his like, he thought that he was being charming, but really he was being gross.
Yes, but I mean, the camera showed him that he was being gross.
Yes.
Nice look. Subtle.
All right, Jesse, you're number 3.
The radiation suits and the flamethrower suits are awesome lo-fi costumes. I really appreciated that. It's like, I dug the aesthetic, and I also appreciated the Geiger counter suspense device, which is kind of a cheat, but I feel like it's part of that production design of just like, I really appreciated like they had no money.
Yeah.
And they did what they could. And also a shout out to the C.H.U.D costumes and stuff like that. I didn't really shout them out otherwise, but it's just one of those things where, yes, have them wear clothes, so you only have to like create hands and like heads and stuff and some other gnarly makeup effects. And it all works pretty well.
I agree with that. So then to roll on that was actually my number 2.
Oh, cool.
It was the creatures themselves and like the way how they made them. Because you're right, they are wearing clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and at first you catch little glimpses of them. So it's like, what does this thing look like? But then the eyeballs, which is where I could tell, I'm like, okay, they didn't have a huge budget. All their eyeballs
still
were
looked good
kind
in
of
the sewer, like in the dark.
great.
It was disconcerting. I'm like, this is just good enough.
All of their eyeballs were kind of
enough.
like askew, but then it made sense after a while. And then like, I actually have for my number 2 was the dimming of the eyeballs when a C.H.U.D dies. Like, because like their eyes are really bright, and then it was just like slow dimmed. Like like it was powered down, and I was just like, okay. But they did a very good job for what they had.
I mean, it wasn't scary.
No.
But it was those things where it was like, this is just fun.
The mouth was kind of scary. Like,
sure. Oh no, yeah. They spent their money well.
Yes.
That's the thing. I appreciate that they spent their money well. Like the suits didn't look like a total joke, like with the flamethrowers and everything. Like I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. There's some costumes that you'll see in some movies that you're just like, it didn't hold the test of time. Not saying that this held the test of time per se, but it did a relevantly
It looked good enough. It didn't make me feel like, oh, you guys.
Yeah, it wasn't like
try.
you're in a plastic suit. Like I can see the plastic moving with you and everything. It was good. Like
it was good enough.
Yes.
I mean, I will definitely say that.
Absolutely. All right. So I just steamrolled onto my number 2. So what is your number 2 reason, Jesse?
My number 2. John Hurt, Daniel Stern, major roles pre-Home Alone. They're pretty solid here, and it's fun to see them earlier in their careers. And bonus John Goodman as the cop in the diner towards the end. So it's a fun, like if you want to see some folks that you might know from other movies early in their career, it's a good place to do it. It's kind of fun to see them slumming it. No, I'm just kidding. Early in their career.
Needless to say, this movie was filled with like a bunch of kind of bigger names for like nowadays.
Yeah, it's a fun one to go back to and like, oh my gosh, like it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think was The Next Generation, where it had Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger like as 2 of the stars. I'm like, holy cow! Like they really got these guys right before they exploded.
They exploded, absolutely, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. What's your number 1 reason, Leah?
My number 1 reason why I feel like you should watch this is because I said so. 100%. This movie was. You just need to watch it. You just need to watch it to have a good time. Honestly.
Okay. Well, my number 1 reason is because I said so. Because this is a delightful 80s time capsule of a film. I mean, it has the quote, "We're not going to blow up the whole city, just a little section of Soho."
Who blow up the whole city? I'm not going to flood the whole city. Only a section of Soho.
I mean, it's just, and you have your line you liked. I mean, it's a fun treat of a movie. If you want to get something that just feels like you just rented it in 1985 out of the video store, I mean, it still kind of just feels like that. So if you want that 80s VHS feeling, it's hard to go wrong with this movie.
Absolutely.
And it's actually one of those that, I wouldn't say it holds up, but it's one of those where it's still a fun watch. And not even necessarily like ironic. It's just like, you know what, this is just a fun, short, doesn't waste your time, well enough put together movie. Like it's kind of a good time. So.
And to be honest, I mean, I'm going to give this one to you because that was very eloquent in the way how you worded it. It is a good time. It is a good time.
Well, those are reasons to check out C.H.U.D. So head on over to Hoopla to check it out for yourself. For the Library Grindhouse, I'm Jesse.
And I'm Leah.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.